Morning, everybody. Welcome back to the first gen farm. I got to get the tilt deck loaded because we got to get the case heading up to the other farm to get ready to get on the rake. It's going to be a busy day today. Let's get rolling. The combine is completely ready to go when it comes to the straw harvest, and all we have to do is put the gravity wagon on the 1206, and we're ready to hit the fields. I gotta get this going because, you know, the tractor only goes 20 mile an hour. The case, on the other hand, is a little bit slower. That's why we transport it to the farm with the truck. I kind of feel bad. I haven't really looked at the comment section yet to figure out if you guys want me to get a gooseneck, but that's gotta be fixed. I mean, I know I wouldn't load the tractor like that in real life, but that's the way the game does it. That's just not safe to be towing a trailer like that. Meaning it will be our question of the day again. If you guys want to head down to the comment section, let me know, should I buy the 30-foot gooseneck trailer that Max D has in the stores? I can't buy it, you know, exactly without probably taking out a loan or selling grain, but I think from a towing, stability, and safety standpoint, it'd be a really great idea. As you guys saw in the last episode on the big time operators, the forage harvester from New Holland finally dropped. How do you guys like that thing? I noticed they had a hotfix that came out for the fact it couldn't harvest like fully fertilized corn without acting like it was full. Hopefully that issue ended up getting resolved. I really loved it. I sure hope you guys did. If you guys didn't know, this is a fun fact of the day. Part of the reason that H&S is in this game is because I walked up to the marketing lady when Grant was asking about other companies, and I was like, hey, if I went and got my boss, would you guys possibly want to be in a video game? She's like, absolutely. And here we are. Not like it's important, but it kind of always makes me happy. I know my little M could very easily pull this wheel rake. It might be pushing it a little bit, but the game says it requires 75 horsepower, so until maybe that gets changed, we're gonna have to run the case. Jumping up to the PDA, there are 3 fields of grass, being the field we're in right now, the one just north, and then the Dorito, and all of which do need to be raked. We'll let Corey take care of the raking, as I gotta take Daryl with me and the combine to get the wheat harvest started. As jumping back to the PDA, there are 3 that are highlighted in pink. I don't want any time to dilly-dally, especially since we have money to be made. Let's pop back over and get the axial flow on the road. If doing the best you can and driving to work with all of your neighbors interests you guys, then be sure to head down below, smash that like button, maybe even consider subscribing. YouTube doesn't know you like it unless you tell me. Neighbor said I could leave my trailer sitting up at the farm. It's not going to be a problem, plus I'm going to haul the case back anyway once everything's done. Which, come to think of it, you're not supposed to be here. You're supposed to be up at the other farm. Shoot. Problem for another day. I have yet to tackle wheat on this game. I don't think it's really any different from soybeans, but I do not believe it drops straw. If it does, that's a pleasant surprise. Extra money. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. I just lose out on a couple extra dollars. That's the best part about a lot of these videos. You guys get to watch me do this in a completely unscripted manner. A lot of these features that I tell you about sometimes, I'm figuring them out for the first time. I played American farming, but I never done it as much as I have now, and I've really gotten to understand a lot of the great physics and features that the game has had to offer, but I've also learned of some of the quirks that the game has had. Something I do know for a fact is I don't have a lot of money. I need to start making some of that. We can't sell corn until, I believe, July or June. When can we sell corn again? Or have I already sold corn? I don't remember. Yes, corn sold in July, and we have the 1,400 bushels. Wonderful. Still gonna wait to get that additional 20 cents. I will tell you that. I'm getting every single dime out of this, man. I got a lot of money I gotta make. Unlike our first season, where we really learned a lot of things about what not to do, we'll get to use our bean head and actually turn a profit this time. In case you missed it, I originally started this farm by planting beans, thinking that was going to be a really smart idea. Not having any land, not having any money, just a combine with a really small bean head. I was wrong. But through business deals, working with Arthur, and renting ground, I now have enough land to justify doing this kind of crop. And nope, it does not drop straw. Perfectly fine. Sometimes turning on the AI, what I would refer to as clicking on the GPS, is nice because it gets rid of the interface so you guys can just see the whole harvest in action. I know Corey's going to be up north doing the raking. If he's done with the little field, we're going to shift him to the top side and then, of course, have him just scoot his rear end down to the Dorito. I do plan to bale the original grass field first because I want to see the difference in how the fertilizer of the grass is affected. I still have not tested that, but it is a feature that was added not too long ago that you can fertilize the grass. I just can't give the data because I haven't done the data. The wheat crop is yielding what appears to be great. I'm no mathematician, but that at least looks like somewhere around 12% in the hopper. I'm not really sure what you would use as a cover crop after wheat. Maybe something like oilseed radish? No? No. Just kind of a weird part of this crop calendar. Maybe if I look at my farm sim planting posters for 25, it might tell me something. This is the part of farming where I look like an imbecile because I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm learning very slowly. And this stuff's yielding just about as good as corn. I can about imagine what the bigger header on a newer axial flow would pull in. Speaking of which, when does wheat sell best? February. Okay. $1.25 difference. And the co-op buys corn for higher, but the mill buys wheat higher. What about beans? That one goes to the co-op again, but we gotta wait until December to sell the beans. That's okay, that's right at harvest season. Okay, Daryl, I'll have you take over the combine, I'll jump to the wagon, and we'll try and keep you empty. Daryl's the goat. He truly is. Except for that little patch. We don't talk about that. On the go again. This is not easy to do. Now we're on the straights. I am curious, I just want to see if Corey's done. If he is, we'll swap him over. If not, we'll come right back here and wait until he's done. Good job, Corey. Raked grass just looks so pretty in my opinion. You know, I think we could tune ourselves into American farming's greatest radio station, 3800 the buck. Let's jump up, get some shots, and complete some work so we can make some money.
I want you here with me. Am I out of my mind? Or is this how it should be? You made me
Hold on, Daryl. I'm coming. Don't fill up. Let's keep you going. Maybe. Oh, dang it. I almost had him. So close. I really should have checked the fuel level on all this stuff before I started. Half a tank will be fine, but I might want to top off before we start heading all the way up north. You gonna keep going, Daryl, or you just gonna sit there? Ah, it wasn't fully empty yet. Well, I'm almost full. I don't want to be that guy, but I think we got a pretty good chance at getting at least 2 trailers out of this. Let's put the wheat in my extra bin at the farm, and we'll call Arthur to see if we can store beans until we can sell them in December. I don't think he'd have a huge problem with that. Might have to just give him a little bit of a cut. But I guess now I know I should have probably planted wheat as spring wheat and winter wheat. I just cannot figure out off the top of my head. Sounds like Corey is done up raking. We'll have to send him back down south. Usually I pull the baler with this thing, but it's kind of preoccupied hauling grain at the moment. Ooh, almost there. Will it fill it by the end of this pass? That is the question. Dang it. Well, it certainly is going to fill in the next one. Let's just go get Corey situated. He won't fill up anytime soon. I still need to get a longer exhaust pipe for this because I am just eating black smoke. It's a great tractor, don't get me wrong, but I either need to get a cab or I need to get a longer exhaust pipe. I don't even remember when this tractor was added into the game. I just remember I popped in one time and I'm like, oh, there's an old case. Doesn't look like we're going to need any fuel since we'll come back for the baler after the raking anyway. Might top it off then. Just not a very fuel consumptioning job. The baler, on the other hand, that's a different story. It's not as much as a field ripper, but it still draws power. Go, Daryl, go. Go, Daryl, go. That field's going to go by real quick once he gets this last big chunk piece done. He is set. Let's go top off the rest of the wheat and take it to the bin. Oh, there's Arthur. I think he's out doing some replanting. There's some spots that really washed out on that rented ground of mine. He told me he'd help me out with it since there's supposed to be some rain in the forecast and I wouldn't be able to get to it since I'm harvesting. That corn's gonna be behind, but it is what it is. It's not like we sell it immediately anyway. Our stuff by the house looks pretty short, but I remember the stage between that stage and like knee-high is pretty quick. So if we got that crop in on time, it should be knee-high by the 4th of July. I love that barn every time I see it. It is awesome. The thing I believe I love the most about this farm is just how organized and task-driven it has become. The problem I had with some of my older farm series is it never felt like there was a strict system to it. I literally just bought random equipment and started farming, and it didn't make any sense. There was no storyline. Well, a farm like this changes that, and it makes it a lot more enjoyable to play, and I guarantee it probably makes it a lot more fun to watch. Wouldn't you agree? Daryl, you're gonna tell me you couldn't go that far? Really? Considering his auger goes way out, we might be able to just back in with or pull up right next to him without driving on the crop. I doubt it, but it's a possibility. Oh, how far does that go out? Yes! Ingenuity, baby. It's what makes the world go round. And it sounds like Corey is done with the rake. If he is, let's bring him back to the house, get the baler on, and start prepping to send him whichever direction we please. No, he's still got a couple passes. Oh, I bet it was Arthur. Check the drone. Yep, that would be him. Dang it, Arthur. That's okay. I may as well just finish out this field and then take care of the whole baling situation. That way we can, reconstruct our thoughts. Plus the, tractor's getting a little low on fuel. This would be a good time to reset. We are going to get 2 wagons out of this. It's going to be dang close, that's for certain. I think there's 2 passes left by the looks of it. Maybe 2.5. Oh, it's only like 1.5. I'd like to look into getting one of those fuel trailers. That way I wouldn't have to go back to the farm all the time. But those cost quite a bit of money, and again, don't have a whole lot. I might be in the way for his header. I'll readjust. Moment of truth. Can we fill it up? Nope. That's okay. We'll head back to the farm and dump it anyway so we can fill up the fuel tank. And it is off to also setting up and running the baler. 1206 is filling with fuel. The combine is still down at the field. We might just delay the other wheat fields to tomorrow. Hay baling takes quite a bit of people and is quite a bit of work. I still have yet to be called out to the Hilberts to help with the square baling. There's one time Spencer and I ran the square baler, but then it drizzled a day or two before, or a couple hours before, and it was just a little too wet. But I have at least worked with and technically stored hay bales. I've never thrown bales. Hay bales can be heavy if you've never thrown one before. After a while, you get a hang of it. It's the stacking procedure that gets you. On this trailer, they just you just stack them up and stack them wide, but there's actually a technique to doing it so the bale structure is actually sound. It's almost like laying mortar. Well, let's not forget, the rack on this trailer usually gets one away, and I think an entire full layer from being full. This will be our control field. If I'm not going to make any improvements, I am not going to be a very happy camper. Baling at 10 seems a little excessive, but we'll roll with it. Outside run is done, and I think we're pulling in more. There's no way we are not. Let me try and clean up a little bit more so I just have the passes on my way back. If they pick up, that is. Looks like we got, what? Gonna be half a rack? Yeah. Possibilities are there. The passes only get longer from here. That's what she said. Oh, it's most certainly working. I can tell because that's what it used to leave us at. We're gonna have a rack in almost a quarter. Guys, I think we might actually make some money. That's a first. Yep. I wish my truck was up here. I'd just take the hay rack in with that. We gotta take it off the baler. That's good news for me. Means we got a couple extra $100 just waiting to be picked up. We'll sell both this field and the field that we just came from at the mill, but the Dorito, it's going to be sold at the co-op. I probably should sell all my bales at the co-op. That way I can get a couple more discounts. Just kind of hard when the time difference is as much as it is. $800? Ooh, close. My math's not that bad. Let's finish off the rest of the field and wrap out our day. Get it? It's a baler? Yeah? No? Okay. I really hope I don't forget my tilt deck sitting there. Otherwise, we're going to be on a wild goose chase trying to find it. With 1 pass left, we're going to get at least a quarter of a rack. That's pretty dang good. Be sure to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh, and most importantly, keep it fun. This is Squad Farms out. Peace.